Hi, my name is Sarah Johnson. I'm a senior at the Miami Valley School, and this term I'm enrolled in a class called Fromm, and it's the ideologies and teachings of the psychologist Fromm. So in this video I'm going to talk about his book, The Art of Loving. I've only read a little bit of it, but I'm going to talk about some of the quotes that I found really, really interesting, and we've discussed it in class, so I'm just going to further those conversations here. Alright, so the first one is, brotherly love is love among equals. Motherly love is love for the helpless. So I never thought about the different types of love before reading this book. He really distinguishes them. I never distinguished between them before. I never really thought about the difference between loving my sister and loving my mom and loving God, or erotic love for that matter. I never really thought about how they really all are different. So, yeah, so it was really interesting because I've been awakened to that idea that they're not the same types of love at all. And like you said, brotherly love is love among equals, so you think of a brother, well, I don't have a brother, but you think of a brother as kind of your second person in your life. It's not a love, like, it's not erotic, he's not a god, so it's your equals. And then, that's just very interesting to me. And then in another quote, he says, in this concept of love and marriage, the main emphasis is on finding a refuge from the otherwise unbearable sense of aloneness. In love, one is found at last, a haven from aloneness. One forms an alliance of two against the world, and this egoism à deux is mistaken for love and intimacy. So, again, I found this quote very, very interesting. Like, the whole concept of love and of marriage is, what he's saying is that people just don't want to be alone, so they choose to believe that their aloneness is love, which isn't true. I just, again, haven't thought about that until reading it in these words. A lot of what he says is just things that I've thought, but I really couldn't put in words, so the whole book is just very enlightening is a good word, because it really is an art, loving is, so it's very, very interesting. Another one is, without love, humanity could not exist for a day, yet if we call the achievement of interpersonal union love, we find ourselves in serious difficulty. So, like he says, humanity really couldn't exist if there wasn't love. I know that I do things because I love them. I speak French and I love that, and so I want to have a career somehow involving that. So I know that if I didn't have something that I loved driving me to work, it would be hard for people to go on, and just in life in general. If you're not doing something that you like or you love, humanity would really just stop. People wouldn't do things anymore. So I found that quote very interesting. These ideas and misconceptions of love, it's just, it's so interesting because I never thought about it outside of small thoughts, and this whole book goes in depth into each one of them, and it's so eye-opening, it's enlightening, and just the perspective that he gives allows me to just have an even more open mind. And again, like he says, love really is an art. It's strange to think about it that way, because you generally think of art as something as creative, visual designs, but having actual deep love is an art. It takes practice, it takes effort, and people don't realize that. People only know the shallow layer of love. They don't go deeper into it. They kind of stay on the outside and they don't try to understand it. So, this is my first video. That was what I wanted to talk about. Alright, thank you. I'll be back soon.